My name is Daniel Cairns and I'm the Head of Enrolments here at Fourth Rev, working in true collaboration with the Cambridge Professional and Continuing Education. We've had a rebrand recently. Welcome all. So good to see so many of you putting in the chat function already your name and where you're from. That's brilliant because today is about you. It's about learning more about the program and the benefits it can provide you, whether you're looking to change careers into data science, whether you're looking to advance your existing career in data science, or even looking to commence your career. That will provide the information you need to decide if the Cambridge PACE Data Science with Machine Learning and AI Career Accelerator is right for you. During the session, there will be much opportunity to engage and ask questions. And if you do have questions, please pop them in the Q&A function, not the chat function. I'll be monitoring the Q&A function, and feel free to upvote any question you want answered first, and I'll try and choose them obviously with the priority. And the chat function will be used for things like this, introducing yourselves, where you're from, but also we'll be putting some assets in there to link out all throughout the webinar and event as well. So engage as much as you can, ask as many questions as you like. If we have a bit of overflow and we need to go over the hour, I'll stick around and answer every question that comes through. It's great to see so many of you here already. Thank you. And good on you. Next, I'd just like to give a quick overview of the collaboration. So Cambridge PACE has collaborated with Fourth Rev to develop industry co-design career accelerators. These are very unique. And they help address the shortage of high demand technology and technology adjacent roles, in this case, obviously, data science and AI. We launched this particular career accelerator in 2023. We've been running career accelerators with other universities for a number of years prior. And it blends academic rigor with real world application, connecting learners to employer designed projects with organisations such as the Bank of England, Nelson Book Data, Inchcape Study Group, Pure Gym, and many, many others. It is practical learning. It is co-designed with industry, but has the rigour that you would expect from the University of Cambridge as well. We've just waited on one more guest as well. So what I'll do, I might start the introductions first, if we can, with those that are here. So I would ask that Rosmeen and Tracy join me first. Rosmeen, welcome. It is a delight to see you as always. Thank you. And if you could give the audience a quick intro to yourself.
Hi, Daniel. Thanks so much. Welcome, everyone. It's really lovely to meet all of you. It's really great to be here. We are super excited to have you here. I am Rosmeen. I am a success manager with Fourth Rev. I work solely with the data science learners. So I think I've been really privileged in that I've worked with these learners from the beginning, which is orientation, until the employer project. We are here to offer you a holistic approach to support. We are here to guide you throughout your learning journey. We are here to support you from an academic perspective, but also personally. We work really closely with you as learners. We work with our tutors and just with the broader team to ensure that you have a successful and effective journey throughout. Thank you, DC.
Thank you, Rosmeen. And learners are very lucky to have someone so passionate as yourself guiding them through the program successfully. Tracy, welcome as always. It's always a delight to see you as well. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you. Really great to meet you all today. My name's Tracy Schuff. I'm one of the career coaches here at Fourth Rev. I've been a career executive and developmental coach for over 15 years now. Before I became a coach, I was in recruitment for my sins, in executive search and interim management recruitment. So I bring a lot of that knowledge to my career coaching. I've been at Fourth Rev for 3.5 years now, working with hundreds of learners, helping them gain clarity in their career goals and really helping them have the confidence to be able to reach those goals and have careers they love. And that's definitely my passion. It's helping people love their jobs every bit as much as I do love mine.
Likewise, it's so refreshing to hear, and your enthusiasm rubs off on those that experience the coaching. It is a part of the program that many people value greatly when they're in, but may not be so aware of before beginning. So we'll certainly dive into the coaching benefits more deeply as well. I've got a slide here just to shape the industry overview quickly if we can. companies across industries, from healthcare to fintech and everything in between, are looking for skilled data professionals. The good news, the demand for data scientists far outstrips the supply, especially those with the ability to frame business impact and value, not just the technical skills, making this a fantastic in time to invest in the skills to enable that. As you'll see, there's 10x more job growth than the national average across all occupations. 54K per year is the average data scientist salary, and many earn much more than that. And 80% of the fastest growing roles in the world are in data, if we can say that. But I'd like to know something from the audience. Which industry are you most interested in working with data science skills? Is it technology? Is it the tech industry? Is it finance? Is it healthcare, HR, manufacturing, or put other? We would love to know more about yourselves, just in relation to your intended outcomes. So that's going to help us also tailor some of today's discussion surrounding that as well. We'll give it a moment for that poll to come up, and just a reminder for everyone, if or at any stage throughout the discussion, if you have any questions, pop them in the Q&A. We're going to be putting assets for you shortly into the chat as well. So let's have a look if everyone's put their results in. Let's have a look at what the results were. Technology 37%, finance 26%, healthcare is slightly lower than I would have thought, manufacturing 6%, and other is 20%. I'm interested in the other as well. If you do care to share, just pop in the chat function some of the other industries you're potentially interested in either progressing your career in if you're already in that industry, or looking to move into if you feel that there's a great deal of opportunity there. So to give you a quick not so much a quick overview, an overview of the program, what makes it unique? So first and foremost, I've touched on it already. We co-designed this both with Cambridge Pace and industry. What industry we're very strong on was the non-negotiable surrounding the business application of the technical. It is a highly technical course, don't get me wrong. It's all about machine learning, AI, all those things that you've read up on, we'll go through, but it is the business application of the technical that the employers want. They were, I won't say sick of, they were experiencing challenge when recruiting graduates, even from masters and beyond type programs, where they had all of the technical skills but didn't have that capacity or knowledge to be able to implement it for business benefit, be that forecasting, be that all the different ways in which we can now use data science in predictive trends and machine learning to have an impact. So it's a 7-month, it's 7 months of learning. There's a couple of weeks of breaks to ensure that you're refreshed throughout that, because it is intensive. It's co-designed, as I said, with University of Cambridge Professional and Continuing Education. You do obtain a level 7 equivalent certificate of completion. It's not a qualification, but that's obviously from a trusted, globally respected university. And there's no exams. We don't feel exams benefit you in job seeking. I don't know if anyone's ever taken an examination result to a job interview. I don't think many employers would be asking about it. Instead, all throughout the program, you're working towards your submissions through mini and major projects that enable you to build a digital portfolio of evidence along the way. I'll touch on that a little bit deeper. I'll ask Rosmeen about that shortly as well. So it blends the academic rigor with the practical application. You'll gain hands-on skills, build that professional portfolio, and collaborate with leading organisations. This isn't just about learning advanced technical data science skills. It's about understanding how to use data to drive decision-making in real business impact. Employers have helped us shape the course to ensure graduates have exactly the skills that they need, and therefore you're in demand. I might jump to the next one to give the overview of the curriculum. I've got a question for our panel too. So as you can see, it's made up of, it's actually 4 courses and 1 live employer-facing project. You'll see course 1, applying statistics and core data science techniques in business. So you, even from the title, can relate to what I was mentioning before about business impact of the technical. So that course runs for 6 weeks. And then there's a small break to help you refresh before going into course 2, solving business problems with supervised learning. Again, a break before course 3, which is a bit more intensive, so it builds your skill set along the way. And that is applying advanced data science techniques. That's a 10-week course that has a break in the middle. Before you're then doing course 4, which is the future of data science with machine learning and AI. The whole program, you'll use AI and obviously develop your machine learning skills, but that enables your participation then in a live industry facing project at the end. To frame that quickly for you, you'll be grouped in a team of 5 or 6 high caliber learners. You'll meet with one of our employer partners and they'll present to you a really a really interesting data related challenge, often using both publicly and privately held massive data sets for you to, as a team, work through and come up with innovative and tangible solutions for. Then you'll meet back with the client, if I can call them that, in a consultancy style presentation at the end, where you deliver your findings, recommendations, and outcomes. And obviously you receive feedback on that project from an employer perspective as well. It's a real cornerstone of the Career Accelerator model, and it certainly enables learners and job seekers to demonstrate your true value to an employer through that opportunity of answering the question, what experience do you have? You'll be able to say, well, during my program with Cambridge, we partnered with X company. They gave us this really interesting challenge. These are the solutions that we came up with, and this is the impact they felt it would have on their business. It's also brilliant for networking, both with your peers more closely. We develop a very close community of learners that you bounce ideas off and obviously work on the project with, but also networking with industry. And lastly, it's practical application of learning in the real world once again. So all of that is supported with ongoing one-on-one executive coaching that we're going to dive into, ensuring that you not only obtain your intended outcomes, but maximize your return on investment. As I said before, it's aimed at postgraduate level. It's a certification, not a qualification, but this is particularly relevant when supporting learners with your personal branding, such as CVs, LinkedIn profiles after completing the Career Accelerator. My first question, I feel like I've been talking forever, is to Tracy. Tracy, could you elaborate on how that level 7 designation of learning impacts learners' career positioning and personal branding, with the Cambridge brand in particular?
So a level 7 even is equivalent to a master's. It's a widely recognised level. So HR departments really understand level 7. And I think combined with the Cambridge brand, what it's saying in any level 7 is there is a certain amount of academic rigour that has gone into the qualification. It's not a video that you've watched or a series of videos. You will earn your level 7 status, it's an instantly recognised. So a combination of level 7 plus the brand of Cambridge behind it, people will automatically know it's a good quality qualification.
Perfect, and you're exactly right. It is well regarded, not only the Cambridge brand, but also because employers have had input into the design of the content. They're most interested in the caliber of learner or graduate that come out. Rosmeen, one for your good self. We've just seen how the program is structured across the several courses on offer. Can you talk us through what support learners receive across that journey from start to finish?
Yes, of course, Daniel. So with our support, we ensure that from orientation to the employer project, there is a structured guidance to help you settle in, to have understanding of what to expect. So you'll have access to you have access to 2 success managers, actually. You'll have access to Felipe, who is there to support you with Python, he is Cambridge's throughout the course. You have industry mentors who are working in the field, who give really great guidance. You have drop-in sessions with us as well. I think what is important is that our support also evolve with the learners. So the earlier courses are more about building that confidence with the fundamentals. And then later on, we'll do drop-in sessions, we do check-ins, we do accountability check-ins. We also know that life happens. And so when life happens, we are able to, relook at what it is that you need, the type of support you need, and we are able to flex that and mold that around your needs and to ensure that you meet the requirements and complete the program successfully.
It's an amazing amount of support, and we're going to dive much deeper into the executive level coaching. Just a reminder for everyone before I do move on, it is 100% online. It is rigorous, but it is designed to fit in with you more so than you fit in with university. So we recommend an average of around 20 hours per week, where that will consist of both synchronous and asynchronous learning, meaning there are live sessions with the Cambridge academic team each week, and there's also an industry mentor support session each week. So you'll get the best of that support in addition to what Rosmeen's just mentioned. Hi, Dr. Giovanna. I'll come to you in a moment. Thank you so much for joining us.
Sorry for delay.
Not a problem whatsoever. Not a problem. We will also host 2 events at Mattingley Hall, which is a most awe-inspiring environment in which to go if you're able to. There'll be a networking event and a graduation celebration as well. So it is rigorous, but there are live sessions each week with the likes of Dr. Giovanna and others. And then there's asynchronous learning, meaning you choose when and how your additional hours in which you work through the content and submit your work. It fits in with your other life priorities. I'll touch on the coaching aspect a little more because it is a true benefit of the program to have the likes of Tracy and her team supporting you alongside. On the next slide, the last presentation of the year is also the most popular one. That will start on the 27th of October, and applications will close on the 20th of October, a week prior, unless we fill the cap of numbers in which we can take on. We cap our numbers for 2 reasons. One is our coaching and academic support constraints, and also the learner experience, more importantly. If we did open this up for 300 or 400 learners globally, as I'm sure we could, it would mean that we might have to have 15 or 20 learners on a project team instead of the 5 or 6 that we do have, ensuring that your learning outcomes and roles and responsibilities within that industry project at the end enable you to obtain the value that you expect. As I've said, 20 hours a week. It's 7 months of online learning. There are breaks over the festive period and in between each of the courses. There is 12 months that we'll touch on next of one-on-one career coaching and weekly live sessions with that facilitator as well. The coaching is proven to be very, very successful, enabling people to achieve their intended career outcomes. Portfolio, so there's 20 industry relevant projects and assignments on top of that 6-week project at the end that go towards you building your digital portfolio of evidence. The price is £8,395, everything included. That's the software access, that's the 12 months of career coaching as well. All that AI, all the learning content and materials, those live sessions, the coaching and the supports as well. And there's a number of ways in which we can support you in accessing the program financially. There is a reduced rate of £500 if you elect to pay up front, or we do have interest-free payment plans over a number of months that enable you to spread the cost over a period of time. But the real question to ask oneself is, what is my return on investment, and what will that look like if I obtain when I obtain my intended career outcome through the skills and the support that I'll receive in the Career Accelerator. I'm going to ask Dr. Giovanna a question. Thank you also for your time. Actually, before I do, would you like to just give the audience a little bit of your background and your role currently?
Yeah. So hi everyone. So I'm Giovanna Dimitri. I'm the tutor for course 2 for what concerns the data science accelerator, and I have a PhD in computer science and artificial intelligence from the University of Cambridge. I'm now a researcher in AI mainly working on application of AI to the biomedical context. But yeah, this is my background. For what concerns the course, Daniel, do you want me to go a little bit more into?
I've got a question regarding that. I guess from your perspective as a tutor on the program, and as you mentioned in course 2 specifically, how does the program connect the learning to real data science scenarios?
Yeah. Okay. So just to give you a little bit of a insight, in course 2, you will see mainly supervised models. So we will see the theory of them with a specific focus on neural networks. But it's not only a theoretical approach. So every time we will see real world applications of these models that we are going to study also on the theoretical aspect. And you will also do hands-on exercises using the models that we are going to study together. Together with this homework and smaller kind of projects, at the end of the course, you will also do a larger project on a real world data set coming from a company where you can test the skills you have learned during the course period in a real world data set. So lots of connections and continuous connections, let's say, with what happens in the real world. Yeah.
I love it. And it's so valuable. Connecting that technical knowledge with the real world examples is everything that employers are seeking. Moving on to the next slide, let's dive into the portfolio a little. As I mentioned, you'll work on 20 industry relevant projects. So you'll be given examples from real world employers on scenarios in which they've either currently experienced or have experienced previously relating to their data science opportunities, strengths and weaknesses. And then obviously that final 6-week employer project. So 20 projects to submit and then form part of your portfolio. Gives you a really rich differentiator for data scientists. Portfolio is highly regarded when applying for roles, obviously. That learning allows you to showcase those real world projects that reflect your competencies and problem solving abilities, along with that impact for employers or industry's sake. This approach not only solidifies your knowledge, but also enhances your job prospects by mirroring the job environment you'll soon enter. I guess a quick question for our career coach in Tracy. From a career perspective, how important is it to have a portfolio that showcases what you can do and how can you support learners in building one that stands out?
I mean, the portfolio can be really, really beneficial to really demonstrate the points that you were saying, Daniel, about the fact that this is a practical course. It's not just learning theory. It's been able to apply them in the real world. The fact that we went out to talk to employers, as well as obviously work with Cambridge. The course is very relevant to what industry is looking for. And it's your chance to really demonstrate that. So it's all right talking about it in a CV, you understand these things, but if you can demonstrate that in a portfolio, it's a really shorthand way of saying, I have this knowledge, I can apply it. My advice with portfolios: start early, little and often, don't wait till the end. But as far as the career coaching perspective is concerned, what we can help you with is, first of all, we'll help you understand who your audience is, and that's really, really important. Whatever reason you're doing this career accelerator, and I'm sure there's many a different reason, from enhancing your current role to completely changing careers. But it's really important you understand who your new audience is, or what your new internal brand looks like. And we will work with you, not just in your portfolio, but to get that branding right, and then help you make sure you're reflecting that in what you're saying in the portfolio, the look and feel of the portfolio, so it really represents your brand well. What I don't help with is the technical bit. So I understand the job market, but won't be able to help with the technical piece. But yeah, it is a great way of showcasing your talents, your newly acquired talents.
You're exactly right. And from Giovanna, I guess, what kinds of projects do you see learners working on that help them build that confidence? Do you support them during those hands-on moments?
Yeah, absolutely. So the content of course 2, as I was saying, will be a mixture between some theoretical aspect, which we will see during the live sessions, and some hands-on exercises that you will have the opportunity to work on your own during the week. But we will also have the opportunity to discuss together and so trying out those skills directly during the weeks. Yes, absolutely.
Brilliant. And then Rosmeen, from your perspective, during the final employer project, how do you help learners navigate teamwork, deadlines, and presenting to an industry partner in a professional sense?
Yeah, so I think that, the EP is the most exciting, but it can also be one of the more challenging aspects of the program. And so I think my role is to help learners set themselves up for success as a team, right? That includes supporting them in forming effective working groups, clarifying responsibilities, but also setting realistic deadlines so that they're able to meet and ensure that they meet the requirements of the EP as a whole. As the project progresses, we keep in touch with learners. Sometimes there will be workload pressures, there may be collaboration issues. We step in and we try to find resolution with miscommunication or time management issues. And then ahead of the final presentations, we also provide practical advice on how to communicate, how to present, how to clarify, also how to clarify with confidence, because the purpose of the employer project is also to build that confidence where you feel comfortable going into the workspace and saying, you know what, this is what I did, this is a group of people I worked with, and this is how I can make a difference at your company, at your organization, and so on. The aim is to ensure that you not only complete the project successfully, but you also gain valuable experience of working in a professional team-based environment. But this also needs to mirror industry practice. So it's to prepare you for that industry.
That's so well put, and it does exactly that. That's why learners are so successful. On to the next slide. We want to talk about especially career coaching beyond the coursework that we've just discussed. We hope you land the right job and have a team of professionals geared to support you in many, many ways. So obviously there's the dedicated career coaching that I'm going to ask Tracy to give us an overview of now. That's success manager, networking, employee connections, industry mentor, tutors, and facilitators. Let's dive into the coaching quickly if we can, because it is a real benefit and point of differentiation. Just before we do, before I ask Tracy of the structure of the coaching, a reminder, pop your questions in the Q&A, as many of you have. I'm going to get to most of them very, very shortly. Tracy, we invest so much in you in terms of the career coaching model for the achievement of our North Star metric, which is our learner outcomes. Tell us, what does it look like when you coach someone through a career accelerator?
The honest answer is, Daniel, it really much depends on the individual. So the first thing to say about all of our coaching is it's very person-centered. We have a range of individuals who do this career accelerator, from somebody technical wanting to get extra technical knowledge to complete career changes, teacher to data scientist, through to people looking to get promotion in their work. They may be in a leadership position but wants to understand the technology to then be able to understand what can be done to improve their leadership capabilities. So we do get, and it's why I love this job, because we get a wide range of individuals, but you will have a dedicated career coach for 12 months. Now, if anyone's looked at an executive coaching program, it's probably the cost of this course alone. So I am going to encourage all of you who do this course to take advantage of the coaching. It's worth a lot in terms of helping you understand what your career goals are. Whatever position you're starting from, it's what are your career goals? What's important to you? Not just the next step, but what about the medium and the long term? If you know where you're ultimately headed, it helps you make better decisions as to what the next steps are. So the first thing we do as coaches is help you understand yourself better. What are your motivations, your drivers, your career ambitions? What do you love doing? Not just what you're good at, but what you really enjoy. What does, that old interview question, what does 5 years look like? But more than that, what does 20 years look like? for you. So we really help you explore your drivers, your strengths, the things that you want to achieve, as well as your interests in terms of sector, so that at the end of that first phase of coaching, we will all have clarity in terms of what it is you want to achieve. And then we can then plan the sessions accordingly. So they may be developmental coaches, helping you become a better leader, or they may be career coaching sessions. What does a good CV look like? What your LinkedIn profile? How do you get that up there and network? We will be talking a lot about networking, but it's what's the best way of you promoting your brand externally if you want to find a different role, or internally if you're looking for promotion. And people forget that internal promotion, internal branding. You can reposition yourself internally, and we've had it happen to lots and lots of learners where they've stayed where they are, but they've repositioned themselves to get the career that they really want, rather than continuing on the path that they were originally taking.
And it must give you so much, as it does all of us, so much satisfaction seeing learners go through, learning more about their strengths and navigating the job market with more confidence and leading to an actual outcome. It's what it's all about. Rosmeen, how do you and the team work with learners who may be struggling to adapt to online learning or balance work and study? It is a big commitment.
It definitely is. And I think we combine empathy with practical strategies. We understand that this is a rigorous course, but we also know you may be working full time, you have a family, you have multiple commitments. So it is important for us to have a supportive but flexible approach. Many of our learners are working professionals, so we understand finding that balance is hard. This is a challenging course. There's a lot of work and effort that is required, but we are here to support you. So we will have a one-on-one. If you send us an email and say, Rosmeen, Melissa, you know what? I'm running this code and it's just not working. I need 5 minutes to scream. We can hop on a Success Manager call and we can have that conversation with you. We also do psychoeducational drop-in sessions where we look at topics like time management, imposter syndrome, even burnout in academia, because these are all the things that you may at some point, struggle with or find challenging. If at any point you are working through the course and you say, I actually need a break, there are options for you. We do have study plans for you, because again, we do understand life does happen and no two people have the same 24 hours.
It's excellent. And the personalised approach, not only from the support, but also regarding the coaching, enables people to obtain that return on investment as well. We've got literally hundreds of learner success stories. Jiwa advanced his career moving from lead data scientist to head of automation and AI. Ajit achieved his consulting goal of landing a long-term data science and SAP contract. And Giuseppe launched his career securing machine learning internship. Tracy, you work with learners from so many different backgrounds. What are some of the goals or motivations you hear most often, and how do you help them stay focused on that during the high intensity learning periods that the program has?
Yeah, there are lots of different motivations. I think the common one is finding a career that they either it's more challenging for them, giving them more challenges. They've reached a certain level, they've got to the stage they want that extra challenge, so they're investing in themselves to be able to get that. Or, back to my favourite word, the enjoyment. They've been doing their job, there's something missing, they're not sure what it is, but they're looking to use the Career Accelerator to launch in a different direction with something that they enjoy more. So it is that combination of extra challenge and finding something they enjoy doing more. But there are, many and varied reasons why people do the course. I think in terms of motivation, in terms of keeping them focused, keeping learners focused, it is a challenge. This is a time-consuming Career Accelerator, but it's reminding people about why they are doing this in the first place. So, it could be time for them to take on a more challenging role. Well, as well as learning about all the technical things you're going to learn on the course, I always say, it's a time management course, really. So it's learning about prioritization, It's learning on when good enough sometimes is good enough, all of which are great tools for you in the future. But it's that reminding people why they're doing it, helping them get focused, and also working with them on getting the timing right. Depends on the motivation as to when you use the coaching. If you're looking to, some people are looking to get a job quite quickly. They may have gone through redundancy and they want to get something straight away. Great. Well, we will focus on branding, CV, LinkedIn, networking, get them out on market as soon as possible. Once they've landed that, then we can take a breath and say, right, okay, let's think about longer term aims and ambitions. Other people, it's developmental work, leadership coaching, finding their voice, promoting themselves better internally. And that is a sort of regular 4 to 6 week coaching sessions. Other people haven't got the time until they're finished, and then we do a lot of the career coaching then. But it's that reminding people of why they started in the first place, to keep them motivated, so that they can carry on doing all the things that we're going to work with individuals and suggest that they do. And just on that, career coaching is something that's not done to you. It's us doing it together. The career coaches will help with your thinking, will give you techniques, we understand what a good CV looks like, etc. But you need to put the work in if you're going to succeed in whatever it is that you want to do next.
Really well put, and it is a team effort in relation to that. It's not just this is what you should do. This is the goal that you're striving to achieve. This is the strategy that we work on together to achieve that, which I love. On the next slide, Sheldon's an amazing chap, actually. We've had him as a guest previously, and that will no doubt again. He was headhunted and landed a new job during the program as a data engineer with Capgemini, with a significant salary increase. And as he says there, for anyone considering this program, his advice is simple. If you want to go beyond theory and work on AI that actually solves problems, this is the right place. He's also, I think, in the chat, you can read after this webinar, in the chat function, Sam's just placed a link where you can read his blog post on his learning journey and take a look at some of his portfolio as well, which is most important. Next one, entry requirements, because I want to get to the questions. So it is an advanced data science program with a number of prerequisites before enrolling. So these include the need to have an undergraduate degree that features at least 1 unit of quantitative study. In addition to that, at least 1 year of work experience in a professional role that has an exposure to data, an IELTS certificate if your English isn't your first language, and foundation technical skills, especially in Python. If you don't have an undergraduate degree that contains quantitative units, but you've been a data analyst for 5 years, we'll certainly take that into account and you'll meet the criteria that way. Just on the Python prerequisites, it's not that you need to be advanced, it's that you need a level of Python to enable the successful commencement of the program. You'll get a lot of Python support and you'll develop your own Python skills along the way throughout the program. It's machine learning. However, it is required to start with a basic level of NumPy, Pandas, and the like as well, those libraries. We can assist with that. If you don't have Python currently, we've got a custom-built Python program now that will enable you to develop the skills and competence to start successfully in the program. There is a short technical test for those that need it. But we've got a 60-hour intensive program that you can work through, pass the test, and you'll be able to commence. The process usually is to apply to reserve, so we can reserve your placement. You secure your placement with a letter of offer. You go through the Python learning materials and then pass the test, which is a multiple choice, 13 questions, 10 are multiple choice and 3 are basic coding examples. So that's the prerequisites to enter the program. Let's see if there are any questions relating to that. If not, I'm just going to dive in, and I've got some for you, Tracy, some for Rosmeen, and certainly some for Dr. Giovanna. Do companies offer job opportunities at the end of the program? Not always directly, but that depends on you, is what I always say. So what I mean by that is you're working on an industry project with amazing companies, and it is in your benefit to shine. However, we have organisations all the time reaching out to us wanting to know if they can, I won't say get their hands on, access our learner cohort. And it happened last week. Last week, there was an amazing opportunity for our data science learners to attend an exclusive event with Ernst & Young, where they're global leaders in digital transformation and artificial intelligence gave an exclusive overview of what that future looks like, what they're looking to recruit, and had genuine exclusive access to that that event online. It was a global event that our learners had exclusive access to. So we do have employers reaching out all the time. We won't guarantee that we'll say you'll get a job with X when you finish, because a lot of that work is dependent on what you do, how you adapt, how you take on the learnings, but also how you adopt what some of the coaches say and the like as well. But in saying that, over 80% of our learners obtain their intended career outcome within 6 months of completing the Career Accelerator as well. Yassine's asked, and I think this goes with Matt's question as well next, how is this compared to the machine learning and AI course from Imperial? I get that a little bit, although it's Cambridge and it's different. But there's some further differences as well. Firstly, the industry project. It is a real cornerstone of the Career Accelerator model, working with the likes of Inchcape, working with the likes as our previous learners have done with Bank of England. It provides additional context to apply your learning in a real world aspect, but also boosts your employability through having worked on an amazing project such as that. In addition to that, it's cohort based. So you do work through the learnings, you do go through as a cohort, and you do become part of a team on that industry project at the end. This one's slightly longer as well, and has the career coaching aspect. So that's worth thousands of pounds, really. If you are looking at investing in yourself with an executive career coach, the caliber of Tracy and team, that would cost thousands of pounds over a 12-month period. That's all included in the pricing. And it's industry co-created as well. So it's very, very different in that regard. It's very applied in the business context, because that's, as I said earlier, that's exactly what employers are seeking. Thank you, Yassine and Matt, for that one. I think Matt might have another question. And Dr. Giovanna, if I can ask you answer this one. NLP, Matt's also asked, NLP seems quite heavily featured towards the end. Will that be more practical without the stats? Do you know, in relation to the technical? And I've got a couple of technical questions for yourself.
Yeah. So the NLP part will not be covered in course 2, but at the end. So sorry, Daniel, I don't know if this was the main question, but yes, it will be covered, but not in the course I'm tutoring, let's say, in the course after mine. Yeah.
That's exactly right. It's covered in depth in course 3 as well. I guess core part of the program is an NLP. You'll do text cleaning, feature extraction, embeddings, classification, summarization, entity extraction, and transformers LLM sprints, prompting evaluation and safety and things like that. And several portfolio projects use NLP. Computer vision, I think it was mentioned there as well, not so much.
Yeah, computer vision. Sorry, Daniel. I don't know if you wanted to answer.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. Again, in course 2, we will not see specifically computer vision. There might be cases in which, because we will see an introduction to neural networks, so there might be cases in which I mention example with computer vision applications and so on. And I might mention as well architectures, neural network based, which are used in the computer vision fields. But the project is going to be on a data set which is not image-based. So we will see techniques mainly applicable to the non-image-based cases, but as I said, mentioned throughout.
Yeah, I think from memory, it's covered at an intro extension level. I guess I can classify it that way. Image classification with transfer learning, basic augmentation and evaluation, but it's not the main focus. Most core work is tabular, time series, and NLP. how much of this course delves into data science versus AI, Gen AI? I can break that down quickly. And if just a reminder for everyone else, pop your questions in, we're going to get through them all. So 65% data science foundations and applied machine learning, Python, SQL, stats, EDA, feature engineering, supervised, unsupervised learning, model evaluation, time series. You'll build multiple from scratch pipelines and ship portfolio notebooks. 25 to 30% is AI, including Gen AI and NLP. So modern NLP transformers, practical LLM use, prompting, evaluation, and safety basics, and applied use cases, classification, summarization, information extraction. Expect hands-on labs rather than theory only. 10 to 15% is then obviously the employer project and capstone skills. So an end-to-end brief with that real organisation, scoping, experimenting, stakeholder communications and delivery, be it generally surrounding both data science and generative AI as well. Hope that answers that question into Yassine as to how much is covered. It's the core of all of what we do. Amir, I've answered that NLP question there. Thank you. William has a question here. This is at master's level, but not a qualification. What do I get from this doing this over studying for a master's? As I mentioned earlier, and Tracy, you might be able to touch on this as well. This is what employers are seeking now. This is an innovative approach to education that bridges the gap between academia and industry, and therefore has been designed to give you the skills that employers are seeking. Tracy, anything to add there?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the practical application, which is, going back to what I said before about portfolios, why it's so important that you demonstrate that in your portfolios. We did go out to industry, and we are still talking to industry about what they're looking for and making sure that the nature of what you do, you can demonstrate the practical business application, as well as obviously knowing the technical piece.
Spot on.
The other thing, obviously, you get over and above a master's is the career coaching, which obviously is important to me.
And all of us and learners. A question for Dr. Giovanna. Only supervised learning methods will be explained. Question. What about unsupervised learning and reinforced learning? We do that obviously in course 3, but would you like to touch any further on that?
Yeah, so absolutely. So course 2, the main focus of course 2 will be supervised learning. So only at the very beginning of course 2, when I will introduce the supervised learning context, let's say, we will mention briefly what unsupervised and reinforcement learning are. And I'm pretty sure unsupervised is covered somewhere else in the data science accelerator course, as Daniel was mentioning. Reinforcement learning also briefly. But yeah, as I said, course 2 main core will be supervised approaches. Of course, happy to take questions also about other methodologies in case some of you have specific interest in one-to-ones or anything like this, because also happy to talk about further methodologies in case.
Thank you. Rosmeen, the next one's, I guess, for yourself or Dr. Giovanna. How long or frequent are the live sessions conducted each week?
So you have an hour-long session, which is the theoretical practical session, and then you also have a Q&A session. So generally you would have a session, say on a Tuesday, which is the theoretical session. Dr. Giovanna, for example, would present. Wednesday, you would have time to kind of work through the content, and then Thursday would be the Q&A session for you to ask all your questions. So in essence, you have 2 hours of learning with your tutor, but this is excluding the drop-in sessions you have with the success manager, as well as your industry mentor sessions as well, which are group sessions that you would also have.
And then how do we foster engagement peer-to-peer? Someone's asked, is there a Slack channel? We have a program or a platform called Circle.
Yeah, so we make use of Canvas for your content, but we also make use of a platform called Circle. And during orientation, it is also a platform we work through. We show you how it works. It's very similar. I would say it's the academic version of Facebook almost, in that you have a space you have a common room space, so that is like your canteen space where you have conversations with your peers. There's a content discussion space that you'll have for your tutor. There's also a success space, and there's a career resources space where the career coaches will post. So you have Circle. You also have access to us via email. And I saw there was a follow-up regarding the group. So once you are in your groups with regards to the employer project, you will connect personally with each other. You have the autonomy to decide the platform to use there.
Which is excellent, because that's real world. Often it's formats such as this, or
Exactly.
Google Meets. You'll meet in person, live in online. I mean, and some people do, if it's convenient, catch up. There's organic catch ups all the time happening, and the events at Mattingly Hall that I mentioned as well. Wanting to get through a few more questions, and I'm conscious of time. Ekaterina has mentioned they're an aspiring KYC analyst in a French bank in Luxembourg. Luxembourg sounds amazing. Starting to worry about the career due to massive AI involvement, AI outsourcing in third countries where labour is significantly cheaply. So looking into fintech specialisation or related, how would this course help me achieve this goal? Tracy, you've seen many examples not too dissimilar to that. I think it's safe to say that this would future-proof her career and allay her fears in that regard.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I can't speak for the fintech specific things on the course, but I do know there's an awful lot of transferable things that you will learn. And what employers are looking for is increasingly is the ability for you to know what can be done and what tools can be used. So to understand the business problems and then be able to apply the broad range of expertise. And this course does have a lot of breadth, which gives you access, even if you're not the technical person doing it, but the knowledge of what can be done. And I think if you understand, the fintech world, plus the knowledge you're going to acquire here, that puts you in a very strong position for what I call that translator sort of role, where you're bringing commercial acumen, your technical knowledge to be able to solve business problems.
Brilliant. Rosmeen, you've got to jump. Do you mind sharing why you need to go with the audience?
Yes, of course. This is our favorite time as Success Managers. We have an employer project launch session today. So one of our co-coaches is actually starting the EP, and they're having the introduction session. But yeah, it's really been amazing. I look forward to working with many of you. And if you have any follow-up questions, Daniel, you can just let me know. Have a great day further. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. This one's also for Tracy. Thank you so much, Rosmeen. Some employers require publications at CV screening stage. How does this course address that as a Career Accelerator program? Publications, I guess, in terms of academic publications, we're assuming there.
Yeah, I mean, what we can't do is give you an academic publication. They take a while to pull together. But again, it's back to using the knowledge, using the practical application of what you've done. And again, back to your portfolio, being able to demonstrate links to that rather than necessarily a publication. It's not something I've come across with the learners that I've worked with that it's an essential. We do have a lot of learners that do this qualification who are PhD, have a PhD. So there is another question about PhDs in the future, and talk to the individuals on the course that have done this. But it isn't something that I've seen, but I would suggest it's using what you've got, which is the projects that you've worked on, demonstrate those in place of a formal academic publication.
Spot on. Brilliant. Thank you, Tracy. Dr. Dimitri here. Are the professors teaching this course faculty members of the University of Cambridge? Could you also provide me with more details about direct engagement learners have with the university? I'll touch on the events, but would you like to answer Elias's first part of that question?
Yeah, so in my case, I'm a guest lecturer for the University of Cambridge, and I have sort of collaborations going on with the Department of Computer Science. For what concerns the other tutors, they name, I think, more or less is the same kind of arrangement. And then direct engagement with the university. I don't know, Elias, if you were thinking of projects or research projects or anything like this. So in terms of, let's say, live sort of events, there will be the live events in Mattingly Hall. There will be meetup events or celebration kind of events where you can all meet up, and you can meet also us, tutors and so on. Yeah, I don't know, Daniel, if there is anything else.
That's fine. I think in relation to the second part of Elias's question, you have weekly direct engagement with the tutors from Cambridge. Dr. Giovanna being one of them, obviously. So all the faculty members are from Cambridge, obviously. They were instrumental in the design of the content, obviously. It's Cambridge content. We've partnered with industry to support that, but it's delivered in both consultation with the tutors from Cambridge, the faculty, and overseen by Dr. Ali Al-Shubaz, who's globally renowned. He's the overarching facilitator of the program. I mentioned the events for participants in this program at Cambridge. Could you elaborate further on those? Yes, Sam, you might be able to dig up a previous post from someone that attended one of the events, but at least twice during the program, you'll get to go to Mattingly Hall. As Dr. Giovanna just mentioned, you'll meet the tutors, you'll meet the career coaches if they can make it, and most importantly, your peers in person. It's not something that we can sponsor in terms of costs to get there if you're working in Luxembourg, as someone mentioned they were, and there's many people overseas. If you can make it, great. It's not a compulsory event. It's just something else that we do for our learners to enhance the learning experience, to personalise meeting the tutors and Dr. Ali Al-Shabazz, and obviously the career coaches, and most importantly, meeting each other. Organically, we're so proud of our learner cohorts developing things like meetups organically. You know, if there's a few of you in Germany, they might catch up for coffees and study buddy sessions, or, you know, obviously the majority are in the UK, so that can all happen as well. I'll get through these last questions because I'm aware we are at time. Do you provide referees we could put on our CV where we're applying for jobs? It has happened. Yes, that is something that can be offered occasionally. Is there a need-based scholarship available? Unfortunately, we don't have scholarships as yet for the program, but keep an eye on this space. We've got something to announce next week in a different event that I'll be hosting as well. For people that don't have an IELTS certificate but have done many works in English, academic reports, oral presentations in a company, is this sufficient? The best thing that anyone can do from here, and Amar in your case in particular, is book a time with your enrolment advisor. They'll walk you through the whole process, ask questions, dive into your English language experience and publications, and then possibly either determine a successful outcome, or we engage with Dr. Ali on an edge case basis and he can approve or otherwise. Someone's asked, does an engineering degree satisfy the entry requirement? Is IELTS mandatory? Depending on what else you've done, as I've just mentioned, book a time. Engineering does contain quantitative units of study, so you meet the academic requirements. If you've worked in industry for a year in a data exposed role, you'll meet the criteria. How much time during normal working hours are we expected to spend on this course given the live sessions? Giovanna, do you host yours at lunchtime or of an evening for course 2?
There is one in the evening and one at lunchtime, let's say.
Yep.
So yeah, the first one, as Rosmin was saying, is devoted to explanations of the theoretical part, let's say, while the second one is focused on Q&A, and they're both recorded. So in case you cannot attend one of the two or both of them, you can see the recordings afterwards. Yeah.
So lunchtime, and then usually 7 p.m, I think it is, of an evening or so. Thank you for that. Someone's got a second question. I have a second question. Is it possible to have, for people having a degree in computer science pursuing this program, to apply for PhDs in AI in the near future? That I'm not 100% sure on, Amar. It doesn't give you a qualification such as a master's to then go and apply for a PhD, but it depends on what else you've done. More importantly for us is designing this program to obtain career outcomes. Certainly some people look for further academic studies to help further career outcomes naturally. This is a very career-driven, outcome-focused learning opportunity. And lastly, the next start date after October is yet to be set, but I believe it will be late January, early February 2026. Thank you for that question. Are we expected to have existing stats, linear algebra, and programming and Linux skills? No. Quantitative units of study, Python skills, speak with your enrolment advisor. So I'll wrap it up here. Thank you, everyone, first and foremost. I'll get to thank my panel in a moment for attending, but I guess now is about taking action. You've taken an amazing amount of time out of your day today to learn more about what is on offer. I will be hosting a drop-in Q&A session on Thursday. That's in the chat, and I'm just going to have you on screen answer your own specific questions as well. But it is time to take that next step. Be that book a time with your enrolment advisor, be that submit your application to secure your placement for October, and start envisaging what it's going to be in terms of commitment. Number one, there are sacrifices to be made, especially if you're working. But number two, start getting that mental picture of the outcomes that you desire, and with a plan in place with a career coach that you'll have side by side on executing that outcome sooner. It is called a career accelerator for a reason. We want people to go further faster, and that's what it's all about. Discuss the payment options with your enrolment advisor. Join the Q&A session for Thursday. Tracy and Giovanna, thank you ever so kindly. There's a question that's come through. If you have to go, please feel free to jump off. I'll answer this question of Emmanuel's, but it is my pleasure to have you, and thank you so much for your insights and most importantly for your time as well.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Best of luck, everyone.
Thank you. Emmanuel, I've got your question here. I plan to use a 24-month plan as a part of StepX, but there's a challenge. I made some purchases with salary sacrifice and max 10% of growth, which I've exhausted. I would want to know if using second. Emmanuel, book a time with your enrolment advisor. I don't know the full ins and outs of your financial position. It is a finance application that you do go through. So speak with your enrolment advisor first. There's no harm in submitting an application to StepX. We do want to make it accessible. So book that time to discuss, and we look forward to welcoming, supporting, and most of all, celebrating your outcomes. That's what it's all about for us. Thank you, everyone. I hope this was informative. I look forward to seeing you on Thursday, or I look forward to seeing your application come through. Thanks, Sam, in the background. Thank you, Dr. Giovanna, again. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you all. Bye-bye. Thank you.